Hey guys, welcome everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the newest educational brought to you by me and my partners, as you can see them here and behind me, Bitburger Nono. Today we're going to talk about a bit of a different hero. We're going to talk about Grimstroke, which isn't traditionally an like a offlaner per se, but something that we need to remember is that the current patch is very stale, and if you want to break the meta right now, in my opinion, this is first of all a great hero to do it with, and second of all a hero that you can have a lot of fun playing in the offlane, or even in mid or as a support or as such. I'm going to show you two different ways of playing this hero from the core role, and I'm going to explain to you guys as to why I think this hero can work very well with farm, especially in this specific meta right now. You know, I've tried this hero out a little bit here and there with overall pretty good success, even though you see a lot of losses here, like I'm 8-8, 22, 10-7, and 4. This was a short game, 1-3-4. Here I'm 7-8, 22. And the last three games were all pretty easy wins, ones I like kind of figured out, you know, like how to play the hero. So first of all, we need to talk a little bit about Grimstroke. I think most of you kind of understand how the hero works. Q is a long-range nuke that deals base damage and also bonus damage the more targets you hit. It has a movement speed slow that is quite strong, and it is a very low cooldown spell later on. The W is a silence that latches onto people, which deals damage per second, but also it's like a in explosion damage if they don't kill it. So, you know, here it deals damage every second, 15, 15, 15, you know, then eventually if they didn't end up killing it, bam, 200, you know, a chunk of damage, and then it returns back to you. It's 2 hero hits, level 1 and 2, and then 3 hits on level 3 and 4. Then you have Inkspell, probably one of the nicer spells on Grim, which gives a lot of playability with many heroes in the game. It's a buff that you put on yourself or someone else, and it's kind of like the silence. It deals damage all the time until it eventually pops, and the longer you have been around someone, the more it stacks up the damage and the stun, and eventually bam, it explodes on the AoE around you and people get stunned. And then the ulti, as you may know, is Soulbind, which binds heroes together such as this, and then you can't, you know, you can't use blink daggers, or if you're a void spirit, you can't, you know, you can't ulti away and stuff like that. So let's go into a few of the hero strengths. So first of all, the hero is range, has okay stats early on. Like it's, I wouldn't say it's amazing, but the hero has a lot of playability. Your Q is a wave clear. You can secure range creeps, you can harass, you can help from long range. You have a slow, a silence, a stun, and a anti-mobility spell, right? So like, what are a lot of the mid heroes that are being played right now? Other than TA, it's a lot of spirits, a lot of mobile heroes, you know? You have your Puck, your Void Spirit, your Ember Spirits, etc., right? They pick quite a lot. Soulbind is amazing against them. Silence is also very good against a lot of heroes. You have a stun that you can combine with someone else, you have damage, you have a slow and wave clear. So this hero ticks a lot of the boxes that you would potentially want someone to have. Also, a lot of these heroes' talents are crazy good. We're gonna touch on that in a moment as well, because what I want to show you guys is one of the main reasons why I think this hero is so strong, and that is the Aghanim Scepter. So Aghanim Scepter, as a lot of you may know, you create an illusion that takes a lot of damage, but it deals more damage than the hero itself. It has high move speed and it is magic immune. So something that you could do is that, you know, they fight each other, but you ink spell the Illu and, you know, crappa. So if we just do it properly, we spawn the Illu, we ink swell, and now look at the one-on-one situation. My Illu alone is killing the TV. So my Illu plus ink swell with no items is killing the main hero. And now imagine if you're soul binding them together, you know, the TB and this axe, you get 2, you know, then you have more illusions, and the TB wasn't even meted. And so this is one of the main reasons why this hero is very strong, especially with... So now, your ulti and your silence are good against a lot of the heroes that are being played from the mid lane. Now, which carries are being played? Terrorblade, Luna, Medusa, Juggernaut. You know, this hero gets an Illu of these heroes, and it's incredible. If the TB is a normal item build, you know, let's say like mid-game TB has something like this, and, you know, he is meta'd. Let's bring maybe another hero around. Let's give this axe a Vanguard and make him level 20. So now the TB metas and you make an Illu of him. Look at the damage of this illusion. And remember, it's magic immune. You cannot dig on this Illu, you cannot stun this Illu, it has to be right click to death. And trust me, it is terrifying. Like again, the illusion alone is basically killing the hero. So now you need to imagine that the carry has to hit him all the time to make this happen without being stunned, etc, etc, etc. And maybe you can heal the Illu. And I'm gonna give you guys a pro tip. I don't know why this exists, but if there's an Illu around the hero, you can soulbind the illusion, it links to the main hero, then you need to use Dark Portrait on the main hero and you get 2 illusions. For some reason. It doesn't work if you do it the other way around. Meaning, if you soulbind the main hero, of course it will not leech to an illusion. You know, like this. But if you leash an illusion, it will find the real hero, because the illusion is looking for something to link onto, like this. But if you now use Dark Portrait on the illusion, then you only get 1. If you use it on the main hero, you get 2. So let's just pretend that this happens in a fight. So he metas, he spawns an Illu, you can clearly see which one is the illusion. Soulbind illusion, use on real one, now you have 2, and now how can this TB fight? You are just gonna kill him alone, and this doesn't just work against illusion heroes, this can work against Manta heroes. So now if you see him Manta and you do this, you know, to like see, okay, this is an illusion, soulbind an Illu, click the real one, now you suddenly have 2 Lunas that have glaives. And again, you're stronger than all of these heroes. So I don't really know why this exists right now. It's pretty busted. So I would say if you want to have some fun from the offlane, this is a great hero to do so. And then we have one other build. So if you go the Aghanims, you know, something I like is Inkswell cooldown talent is great. Inkswell movement speed talent is great. And to be fair, you can't really go wrong with any of these talents, but there's one time where, in my opinion, on level 10, you want to go to Phantom's Embrace DPS talent. And that's when maybe it's not a good game to rush Aghanims because they have a lot of weak illusions, or it's like really good for you to have different build-up with like a Ghost Scepter. Then you can buy an item such as E-Blade. Because the way people kill the silence is by hitting it, right? But if you E-Blade them, then this happens. And now they're silenced and disarmed. And then the, you know, this obviously deals damage. So if we just do these 2 spells, let's see how much damage it deals. It is at about, you go drop down to 1590. What if we do the disarm a bit later, so that he's still affected by E-Blade? 1400. 1430 is how low you can go. Now if you go Phantom's Embrace, you know, he hits it, you E-Blade him, and suddenly look at the damage now. 1100. Now you can take the Spell Amplification talent, if you go this build, and then it looks something like this. And suddenly, these 2 things alone is 1400 damage. And now let's factor in that you do something like this, you know, Q with 0 hits, and the guy actually died. He actually died. I just dealt 2300 damage. Okay. So he hits it, you E-Blade him as late as possible so that he's still E-Bladed when the thing pops. And you deal about 2.3k damage. Let's say you do this to 2 heroes, right? You know, you do Soulbind, Silence, you Inkswell someone else, E-Blade. They both get popped by this. And remember, if the Silence doesn't die, you get a new one. So you can all constantly like do this. Now you get a new Silence. You know, of course, you don't have an E-Blade now to protect it, but this is again time where they have to like hit the spell, and honestly, this is very obnoxious to deal with. Because they're stunned and disarmed. Let's say if you play against a hero like Timbersaw and he throws out his Chakram, he's disarmed, so he cannot kill the Embrace. So again, this Timber, with his ulti out, he is silenced, but also disarmed from his own ult, so he can't hit anyone. So this is basically one of the 2 ways that I like to build this hero. You can also go different builds of like, you can go Lens first, you know, you can go Arcane Boots Lens. or are like Arcane Boo or like Brown Boots, no talisman into Aghanims. But I'm gonna show you guys the two builds real quick because to be fair, I don't want this video to take too long. I think this hero is pretty straightforward, and honestly, this hero is insanely strong. So let's just have a look at this game that we played the other day. Starting items, just get yourself some stats. Maybe, you know, a stick if you think it's good. Otherwise, you can get iron branches, maybe a salve. I would advise you to go Q level 1. You know, you want to use it to last hit creeps and hit heroes at the same time. Because remember, the more you hit, you know, the further back the hero is, the more damage you can deal. And to be fair, in the lane, you're pretty straightforward. That's just kind of how you play early on. Push the wave, secure some creeps. Once you get Inkswell, generally you want to max Q and E. If you have kill potential level 3, you can get 102. Otherwise, you can go 201. Usually, if you are an offlane Grim, you probably have a melee 4 that you can easily pair the Inkswell with. So like here, for instance, you know, I have to use it on myself. But it's okay. So nothing too crazy. We go 201 because I don't think we really have much kill potential unless we hit an arrow, which we do. So there we go. Now we get a raindrop, some more stats. You know, we can always push the wave. I remember I eventually end up telling my Mirana, hey man, you should come play in the lane. I can Inkswell you, he can leap in, and then we're gonna get some good kills. So I'm gonna show you guys just, you know, a few of the things. Right now we're just pushing the lane. We're trying to get some CS. You know, we're doing pretty good. We're doing better than the Luna. Here, also remember you can like Inkswell creeps as well. So here I know that they're gonna. I don't want to Inkswell myself because I need to run. So I Inkswell a creep. The Luna gets stunned, loses a lot. I have raindrops against Oracle. I get to nuke him. They just both took a lot of damage, used a lot of mana, and I'm fine. Now here, nothing too crazy. 302. They want to go on me. I Inkswell my bottom. He ends up getting a kill on the Oracle, which is great. We get some more harass on him. But fine, you know, early game, pretty straightforward. We kill the Luna as well. We heal up, we pull. Great. Now, we can like skip ahead a little bit. There's nothing too crazy happening. I do end up buying a Arcane Boots because I can maybe eventually, you know, I feel like at this point I need more mana. And now it gives me the option, like, do I just want to go Ags? Do I want to go Lens? Or maybe something different, maybe a Glimmer Cape. I don't know if in this game I go Glimmer Cape. I think I don't. I think here I just straight up go Aghanims. Yeah, so I'm gonna queue that up. And now basically the way you want to play once the lane is over, there's two ways you play. You either push lanes and farm, because you can easily and nicely do this with your Q on, you know, the Grimstroke Q, which is great. Push lanes, get gold, stuff like that. Or step 2, we pair up with other heroes to use Inkswell and get some fights going. Like here, I pair up with my Voice Spirit, I throw my spell on him, he goes in, then you know, he gets a stun off, you follow up with Q, and then you're the long range guy to, you know, deal damage and help with that. I would advise you not to level your ulti before like level 8, 9, 10. Silence level is gonna depend kind of like on the game. You know, like sometimes getting a level in silence is good. We overplay here, but it's more about the concept. You wanna aim to play with your teammates. Like here, for instance, you know, we're gonna end up taking this fight straight after we die. We TP back to mid. Look what we do. We silence this Kunkka. I'm gonna Inkswell a teammate that can go in. In this case, it's the Potom. Look, he sees it perfectly. He leaps in. We have a 2-man, like what is this? A 2-man, 2.7 second stun, dealing damage. We're gonna follow with a Q, and they all die. Boom. Amazing. In the meantime, TB is farming. You know, he's chilling. We're making space for him on the map. Now again, we just made some plays. We go bottom. We push the wave. Pretty straightforward. I kind of know that they're coming here, you know, in terms of ganking me, so I play safe. I yell for Moonlight Shadow. But fine. Did actually end up dying in this play. Here again, we keep farming, Like right now, you're farming, then you join for some small plays if you see some with your initiator potentially, and then you just keep getting towards your timing, which in this case is my Aghanims, and let's skip to that, you know, like minute 16 to 20, depending on when you get it. So here, play on high range, your spellcasting hero, help your teammates, you know, silence the heroes that need to be silenced. Use some Qs from high range, pop the Inkswell on heroes that can go in for you. Now we're getting close to Aghanims. After you have the Ags done, you usually want to split your Arcane Boots if you already have them into a lens, because it makes it easier for you to use your spells, and so on. So now we have a good timing, we can smoke up, we can take a fight. We go top and smoke a Moonlight. Here, sadly, it's a Luna illusion, so I get baited a bit. But just look at my Luna Illu now in this fight. Like, look what it does. First of all, it gives us night vision from the spell. We all get Luna Aura, so we all get 35 more damage. Now here I Soulbind, my Illu was a little bit AFK, but look, I Soulbind them, my Illu hits them, bam bam bam, Ink Swell on my Voice Spirit, my Luna Illusion is still owning. Look at this, it's actually killing Kunkka. I basically killed Kunkka in this fight, slowed him, locked him down, silenced, and now we chill until we have my illusion again in 5 seconds where I'm like, hey guys, we can turn. I can Ink Swell my Voice Spirit, he goes in, I make another Luna illusion, and Luna is just dead. I get my silence again, because I didn't kill it. Since I have the Ink Swell, since I'm not buying an E-Blade to help with my Phantom's Embrace, I just take the Ink Swell talent. We're great, and basically, at this point, this game is like over. We're 3k gold ahead, and it's so hard for them to play this game. Like, just have a look. Here, we catch, it's pretty simple. I Q from long range. Look at the range also of my Dark Portrait once you have Lens. Like, it's very high here. I see Luna, I spawn the Illu, I Ink Swell my illusion, I run it in, I'm gonna stun the Luna, look at this, he's basically down, I'm basically solo killing him. They have some people that are very angry, and the game is like pretty over. Or let's not look at this. So that's basically one way how you can play the hero. There's another game where I itemized a little bit different with more protection. I think beforehand, before getting the axe, simply because I needed it. So a very similar build again with like, you know, Arcane Boots, a Null Talisman, Windlace, so you know, like similar build up, Arcane Boots, Windlace. But this game I like Glimmer Cape because they had like this Ember who will always go on us. They have like this random ass PL who's gonna doppelganger in with like his diffusal blade. So in this game, I went a small item first, and then the Aghanims, because I think in this game it was just better. And then Ags into Lens. After the Lens, you can go Travels with your Brown Boots, or maybe a Hex, maybe an E-Blade, etc. And then let's just have a look at this game, because this game was the type of game where I was gonna go E-Blade, and I'm just gonna explain you like the two different builds and when you potentially want to think about buying more defensive items. So if it's very hard for the enemies to kill you, and if you're having a very easy time already, you know, if they don't have too many jumping heroes, then you can most likely go for an Aghanims first. And obviously, if they have heroes where the Aghanim scepter will do a lot for you. But there's this game right now where, yeah, the axe is good against Wraith King, but it also depends on his items. Like if he has a Radiance, that's pretty cool. Or if he gets like an armlet, he gets a lot of like damage and shit like that. But if he's going some Sanjin, Yasha, Blink Dagger build, then he's gonna like deal no damage. And also they have TA. TA Illu is okay, but not amazing. But if you look at their cores, they have 3 physical damage cores. Where I was like, I wanna try this E-Blade build. And also Ghost Scepter is just great in this game, right? Like it's great against TA, Legion, and Wraith King. So in this game, I'm like, I want a bit more defensive items, similarly to the other game where they had like Ember and PL, where it's like okay to go one small item and then axe. So same story, use our Q to push the lane and get some farm going. And you can see I'm not even playing Grim with melee force, I'm playing with range force, so you can make it work either way, because you can play for farm in the lane with Stroke of Fate, or you can play for kills with Inkswell. Ideally you do this with melee heroes, but you can also do it with range heroes. And then later in the game, just combine yourself with heroes that go in for you to use your Inkswell. So here, you know, we're just gonna do our normal stuff, use some spells, get some last hits, make sure we send enough regen, have some stats available, stuff like that. Yada yada, you know, nothing too crazy. Again, if you're playing for harass and long range, go 201 at level 3. If there's kill potential at level 3, you can go 102, because the damage doubles on Inkswell and the stun nearly doubles too, but also most importantly the cast range increases for 125, which is more than 25%. So you get more value out of 102 if you're going for kills with Inkswell than a 201 build. Now we're mainly playing for harass and farm. So right now, again, you know, stats in the start, magic stick, get more regen, upgrade to a Null Talisman, then most likely you want to get boots or Windlace. Don't upgrade your stick into magic wand too early, do that later after you've secured enough regen. Maybe boost in a Null Talisman. As you can see, we're slightly winning the lane, which is great. Here again, we're gonna go for a play. So what's gonna happen is that I see that this guy's out of position. I Inkswell my Dark Willow. Once, you know, nearly the whole play is done, we hold our Q, we use it on long range, we even aggroed a few of their creeps so that our Q deals more damage, and we get a kill and we trade. But the guy had to leave the lane for a long time. Here again, we go for, oh, he solved me, I didn't even realize. Here again, we have a lot of gold. We're gonna send Tangos and the courier to the secret shop so that we get our arcane boots again. So as you can see, the laning phase, very straightforward, you know, nothing too crazy really going on. I inkswell my guy, I thought he would get the kill, he did. So slight misplace, but overall, just lane like this. It's very, like I said, it's very easy to understand what we want to do. Again, we inkswell a creep, we get a lot of damage on the Jakiro without really losing anything. We have arcane boots, so we can spam our spells. I knew they had a lane ward. Here again, we're gonna get a kill. You know, my Willow had some good positioning. We go around. I could maybe inkswell this creep here, but anyway, I Q both of them. I E myself, stay on top of the Wraith King. He dies, looks great. We have some raindrops to give us more mana regen, but also more survivability. This looks great. So now we can skip ahead a little bit. You know, if we can stay here in this lane and just farm, that's great. If it's also very easy for people to gank our lane because we have high levels, high reach in terms, you know, you have high range. Inkswell at this point has high range. You have a high range, slow damage nuke, and then another nuke that stuns and damages as well. So it's very easy to play with this hero. So now let's just have a look. It looks so people came bottom. You know, we're getting some kills. We're playing very low HP, we end up dying, whatever, we're having some fun, you know, we're trying stuff out. We TP top, we're gonna get some stuff done. Actually, I think nothing too much happens up here, so now we chill a bit. Okay, so let's look at the next play. We TP top because I see that there's some shit happening, and look, again, very easy and very smooth. We connect to a kill with our Ember. Now we're here together, we have Inkswell, this Legion Commander is doing some stupid stuff. We silence him so he can't W, we E our Ember who just remnants in, bam, we get a free kill, more levels, more gold, we feel great. And now I decided to rush a lens to get my game going because it was pretty fast, but my next item is gonna be a Gold Scepter and we're gonna see great usages of this item in this game as well. So Arcane Boot split, lens gonna make it, it makes it a lot easier to use your Q here, get some stuff done. I play to get a top with my Disruptor to, you know, get some pressure going, keep farming, because like I said, we either sit in side lanes and we farm, we get gold to our timing, and get the lanes in right position, and then eventually we want to combine our spells with our teammates with Inkswell. Here, look at the damage of my Q, because this Wraith King has like quite a few skeletons out here. Look at the damage, okay? Spawn skeletons, he is 500 HP, 600. He's 540 when it hits. This nearly dealt 500 damage. And it killed all the skeletons once, so he respawns. We're looking, I'm kind of like here debating if we want to go back in, because I don't want to bait him to go in and die, right? So I can't Inkswell him yet. So I'm just waiting, I'm waiting. My Spectre is farming, doesn't have Haunt. If he has Haunt, we probably kill everyone. But here we just chill. You know, they overplay a bit, Inkswell stun on the Jakiro, slow everyone. This is great, you know, keep playing on range, slow again from high range, wait for next Inkswell, pop it on the guy going in, we get a double kill, amazing. Send ourselves some clarities, we walk to middle to get some stuff done, you know, maybe we can do something with Ember, walk into the jungle together, Inkswell our Ember, you know, very similar to how you play it from support, just that you have more levels and more farm at this point. 4-1-4-1 build, because I think the ulti is not too bad at this point. Could also just take the Inkswell cooldown talent. I think we didn't necessarily need the ulti here. Here again, we run around, silence the Legion, use Inkswell on our Ember. Now we're gonna get the Gold Scepter. Gold Scepter is great against the TA, who honestly is having a pretty good game. Wraith King just has an armlet, Legion Commander is having a rough game, but either way, Gold Scepter is great against them. Also, like I said, we don't have like the best Aghs hero. Yeah, sure. The Aghs is good against Wraith King, but remember, the better game the enemy carry has, the stronger your illusion is, right? Because the stronger they are, the stronger your illusion is. At least that's the case for most like illusion carriers, because they buy a lot of stats. So, same story continues. We run around, we push lanes from high range, push it in, and then we connect to our strong heroes that we can play with our Inkswell. Here, this Legion is pretty done. We kill him. Now again here, Ember gets Inkswelled, we kill the Wraith King, we slow the Jakiro from super high range as well. We're gonna use another one. Now we TP top to set up a kill on this guy, and now look what we can do because we have a Gold Scepter. This is my vision, I know he's running in here, I'm setting this up, I'm telling my team, hey, I'm gonna go on him. I use Inkswell, I know that he's in meld, he could maybe kill me, but I have Gold Scepter, so I just sit on top of him. We dagger, he dies. We're only 2k gold up, like we're doing a lot of plays on the map. Keep sending ourselves some clarity, some teleports, so we don't want to go back to base. I should have it. I mean, I did just use my TP, so it's not that important to have one already, but I should look to get a new TP soon. And now again, play is done, lanes are pushed in. Where do we go? We go to our team. You know, my Ember here, he makes a TP play. I'm just ink swelling him in case he has a follow-up play once the TP completes. Nothing crazy happening. We're looking for some ulti potentials if there are any. Yep. Here we're baiting again with Gold Scepter. We have an ulti on 2. It actually gets broke by Glimpse here. We ink swell our Ember who gets dueled. We're silencing some other dude, keep applying more pressure. And here we're just playing a lot on spells, right? High range. We're a high range hero with lens. We want to abuse that. We take Roshan. This is amazing. We killed their Wraith King. And now push lanes. Connect with your strong heroes. Silence the techies. Inkswell the Ember. Voila. Like, game is going great. The enemy team is starting to get angry. And boom. Here again, connect with your strong heroes. So I would say like this hero is pretty straightforward in terms of like the things you want to do, right? So you want to ulti their heroes. So if you have Aghanims, you can ulti nearly anyone, but you want to make sure that you get a dark portrait of their strong heroes. If they have mid heroes like Ember or Void Spirit, you know, mobility heroes, if you can soulbind them, that is great, because the strengths of those heroes is to get away with their blinks, their remnants, etc. But if they get soulbound to another target, they can't. They are leashed. So you have like a tool against nearly every hero in the game when you play this Grimstroke. And also in terms of how you want to play this hero in the game is, I would say, fairly straightforward. You play your lane, you get your stuff done, you buy some regen, buy some stats, maybe a Windlace into boots, and then a like Raindrop. You get your levels, you push out the lane with Q, play together. If you have kill potential with your 4, you can Inkswell your 4, try to get some kills. Later you can get Silence as well. Then you either keep pushing out lanes, get farm with your Q, or you can potentially run together with your mid heroes who usually you have at least one guy in your team that you can play with Inkswell. A Clockwork support, or maybe even a Treant, you know, if you need to get really wonky, or a carry Spectre like we had in the last game, or like usually either your 4 or your mid or your carry. You know, you usually have one guy that you can Inkswell that will go in and wants to go in. And then not only do you feel good, but you make him feel great as well. And then until then, you know, you play on high range, you push out waves. So you have two modes. You have the push out waves mode, and you have the, okay, waves are pushed. Now we play with another guy who goes in. So you're either looking for farm and wave push, or for plays and hero kills. Until you get to a crucial timing, which could be Lens, it could be Aghanims. I would say that Aghs is, generally speaking, your best timing and your strongest timing. And you want to make sure you use it on the heroes that are the strongest from the enemies, right? Unless if this Luna is dead, then okay, I'll Dark Portrait whoever I can. In this lineup, I would ulti any 2 heroes I can. If the Luna is dead, I would ulti any 2 heroes. If Luna is alive and I can ulti him plus anyone, I would do that. Ulti him, Dark Portrait 2 heroes, silence them. Inkswell either my illusion if it, you know, if it works, or my Void Spirit, and then bam, the hero is in that sense already pretty straightforward to play. You can split your Arcane Boots into the Lens, and you feel pretty great. And then you have a few different item builds, but ultimately you want to end up with an Aghanim Scepter somewhere along the road. And something I didn't mention is that the shard on this hero is incredibly stupid. It causes Inkswell to deal 40% more damage. It heals the target for 40% of the Inkswell damage, and upon expiration, aka when it breaks, the target receives a strong dispel. So we're just going to test this real quick, because actually I want a game. You know, I won a game actually yesterday where my support, Grimstroke, Inkswelled our Luna, who got lassoed at the same moment. So what happens is that you get a strong dispel. So if I Inkswell myself and I get lassoed, when the Inkswell breaks, I'm actually free from the lasso, which is incredible. And now let's also see how much it heals. So first of all, it deals 40% more damage, which is a lot. Let's see how much damage I heal from this spell. Okay, I'm next to 2 heroes. So this guy that goes in actually heals for this amount of damage, which is that's stupid. I'm just gonna say, this hero is tanking 2 heroes. He's actually out-tanking 2 heroes. We're gonna give them some damage items, okay? They're gonna start hitting him for a while. I'm gonna drop to 500 HP, and now I use it. when you heal like 800 HP from this, and then you break free from any stun or slow or whatever. Like, this is incredible on a potential 10-second cooldown if you take this talent. So like, what could happen is that you do this, you know, they're hitting you, you ink swell. No, 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 I don't care about you guys. You heal up, you're full HP, and in 5 seconds you have a new one. Let's say you have an Aghanims, you soulbind them, you do this, you inkspell yourself, and now they're both just gonna die, you know, from this. Use your Q, and they're both dead. It could literally be just be this simple. And remember, if you play against Luna, TB, Manta Hero, Illusion Hero, whatever, if you can ulti the Illusion and then, if you can soulbind the Illusion and then Dark Portrait the real hero, you will make 2 illusions for whatever reason. I don't know why this works, but it does, as I've showed you guys a few times now. So you're gonna, if you ulti an Illu, it will link to the hero, right? Now you know that this is the real one. So you do this, you get 2 Illus. If you ulti the real one, you will know it, because the ulti, if you ulti the real one, it will not bounce around. So then you know, oh well, I can only get 1 Illu, but you can still do this, and you will probably still kill the guy. And I'm gonna give you guys a pro tip. I don't know why this exists, but if there's an Illu around the hero, you can soulbind the illusion, it links to the main hero, then you need to use Dark Portrait on the main hero and you get 2 illusions. For some reason. It doesn't work if you do it the other way around. Meaning, if you soulbind the main hero, of course it will not leech to an illusion. You know, like this. But if you leash an illusion, it will find the real hero, because the illusion is looking for something to link onto, like this. But if you now use Dark Portrait on the illusion, then you only get 1. If you use it on the main hero, you get 2. So let's just pretend that this happens in a fight. So he metas, he spawns an Illu, you can clearly see which one is the illusion. Soulbind illusion, use on real one, now you have 2, and now how can this TB fight? You are just gonna kill him alone, and this doesn't just work against illusion heroes, this can work against Manta heroes. So now if you see him Manta and you do this, you know, to like see, okay, this is an illusion, soulbind an Illu, click the real one, now you suddenly have 2 Lunas that have glaives. And again, you're stronger than all of these heroes. So I don't really know why this exists right now. It's pretty busted. So I would say if you want to have some fun from the offlane, this is a great hero to do so. There's 2 ways you play. You either push lanes and farm, because you can easily and nicely do this with your Q on, you know, the Grimstroke Q, which is great. Push lanes, get gold, stuff like that. Or step 2, we pair up with other heroes to use Ink Swell and get some fights going. Like here, I pair up with my Voice Spirit, I throw my spell on him, he goes in, then you know, he gets a stun off, you follow up with Q, and then you're the long range guy to, you know, deal damage and help with that. I would advise you not to level your ulti before like level 8, 9, 10. Silence level is gonna depend kind of like on the game. You know, like sometimes getting a level in silence is good. We overplay here, but it's more about the concept. You wanna aim to play with your teammates. Like here, for instance, you know, we're gonna end up taking this fight straight after we die. We TP back to mid. Look what we do. We silence this Kunkka. I'm gonna Ink Swell a teammate that can go in. In this case, it's the Podom. Look, he sees it perfectly. He leaps in. We have a 2-man, like what is this? A 2-man, 2.7 second stun, dealing damage. We're gonna follow with a Q, and they all die. Boom. Also, like I said, we don't have like the best Aghs hero. Yeah, sure. The Aghs is good against Wraith King, but remember, the better game the enemy carry has, the stronger your illusion is, right? Because the stronger they are, the stronger your illusion is. At least that's the case for most like illusion carries, because they buy a lot of stats. Here again, connect with your strong heroes. So I would say like this hero is pretty straightforward in terms of like the things you want to do, right? So you want to ulti their heroes. So if you have Aghanims, you can ulti nearly anyone, but you want to make sure that you get a Dark Portrait of their strong heroes. If they have mid heroes like Ember or Void Spirit, you know, mobility heroes, if you can soulbind them, that is great, because the strengths of those heroes is to get away with their blinks, their remnants, etc. But if they get soulbound to another target, they can't. They are leashed. So you have like a tool against nearly every hero in the game when you play this Grimstroke. And also in terms of how you want to play this hero in the game is, I would say, fairly straightforward. You play your lane, you get your stuff done, you buy some regen, buy some stats, maybe a windlace into boots, and then a like raindrop. You get your levels, you push out the lane with Q, play together. If you have kill potential with your 4, you can ink swell your 4, try to get some kills. Later you can get silence as well. Then you either keep pushing out lanes, get farm with your Q, or you can potentially run together with your mid heroes who usually you have at least one guy in your team that you can play with Inkswell, a Clockwork support, or maybe even a Treant, you know, if you need to get really wonky, or a carry Spectre like we had in the last game, or like usually either your 4 or your mid or your carry. You know, you usually have one guy that you can Inkswell that will go in and wants to go in. And then not only do you feel good, but you make him feel great as well. And then until then, you know, you play on high range, you push out waves. So you have two modes. You have the push out waves mode, and you have the, okay, waves are pushed. Now we play with another guy who goes in. So you're either looking for farm and wave push or for plays and hero kills. Until you get to a crucial timing, which could be Lens, it could be Aghanims. I would say that Ags is generally speaking your best timing and your strongest timing, and you want to make sure you use it on the heroes that are the strongest from the enemies, right? Unless if this Luna is dead, then okay, I'll Dark Portrait whoever I can. In this lineup, I would ulti any two heroes I can. If the Luna is dead, I would ulti any two heroes. If Luna is alive and I can ulti him plus anyone, I will do that. Ulti him, Dark Portrait two heroes, silence them, Inkswell either my illusion if it, you know, if it works, or my Void Spirit, and then bam, the hero is in that sense already pretty straightforward to play. You can split your Arcane Boots into the Lens, and you feel pretty great. And then you have a few different item builds, but ultimately you want to end up with an Aghanim Scepter. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this Grimstroke video. This hero currently is crazy. It's super much fun to play. I hope it can give you some new inspiration for the current patch to have fun. Get through it, guys. I hope you can learn something. If you have any questions or comments or anything for me, put it down in the description below. And as always, you know, I'm glad that you guys enjoy the content. Shout out to my sponsor, Bitburger 00, you know, to continuously help me to make this content and to make it easier on me. With that said, thank you guys for tuning in. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching, and bye.